So you got my chair, you could just-
You have grandkids.
Senate will please come to order. Good morning. Today's devotional exercises will be conducted by Reverend Ramin Zahed of Old Meeting Church of East Montpelier. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It is with deep appreciation and gratitude that I stand before this grand institution. You have a well-published history of being on the vanguard of liberal democratic and social equality issues. May you continue to do so judiciously, wisely, and prudently while juggling the enormous difficulties the state faces. I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. These words belong to the sacred text of the Christian Testament. And the reflection I'd like to share with you is based on the word reflection itself, an image of yourself that you see in a mirror. Therefore, I'd like to ask you a question. Are you today the person you imagined yourself to be? Before answering this question, remember who you were before you became an elected official, candidate, or lobbyist. Also shed any pretensions, labels, or externalities that you've adopted along the way. With all that gone, hold an imaginary mirror up to yourself and ask the question, are you who you want to be? And if you are, then you are judiciously performing the duties asked of you by this beloved state. I pray that you are and that you continue to represent this beloved state and our people wisely. The problems we are facing as a people cannot be overcome if anyone is in this for prurient interests. Decisions made in this building have positively altered the history of the state and this country since its inception. I recognize this is a heavy weight for you to carry. It was a noble tradition first set forth by your ancestors and predecessors. Your ability to carry this weight depends on whether or not you are who you are meant to be. For the decisions you make while in this session, it is no exaggeration to say, will impact not just Vermont, but our country and thus the world. One day, I hope you can look back on your life, remembering all that you have done here, and speak truthfully to yourself and say, I have fought the good fight, I have finished the race, I have kept the faith. Thank you, and may God continue to bless the state of Vermont and the United States of America.
Thank you. Please rise for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Are there any announcements? Seeing none, we have two gubernatorial appointments for referral. The first being sent to us by the governor, the first being Mary Alice McKenzie of Colchester as a member of the Municipal Bond Bank for a term of and from and including February 1st, 2023 through January 31st, 2025. And we have the appointment of David Coates in Colchester as a member of the Municipal Bond Bank for the same term from February 1st, 2023 to January 31st, 2025. We have a joint Senate resolution for adoption relating to weekend adjournment. Please listen to the reading of the resolution.
JRS 13, joint resolution relating to weekend adjournment. Resolved by the Senate and House of Representatives that when the two houses adjourn on Friday, February 10th, 2023, it be to meet again no later than Tuesday, February 14, 2023.
And you've heard the reading of the resolution. The question is, shall the Senate adopt the resolution on its part? Are you ready for the question? If so, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed indicate by saying nay. The ayes have it, and you have adopted JRS 13 on its part. We have some Senate bills for introduction. The first being S60, introduced by Senators Chittenden and Rahm Hinsdale. Please listen to the reading of the bill by title.
S60, an act relating to local option taxes.
You've heard the first reading of the bill is referred to the Committee on Finance. We have S61, introduced by Senator Cummings and others. Please listen to the reading of the bill by title.
S61, an act relating to Medicare Savings Program eligibility.
Now, you've heard the first reading of the bill is referred to the Committee on Health and Welfare. We have S62 introduced by Senator Ram Hinsdale and others. Please listen to the first reading of the bill by title.
S62, an act relating to paid family and medical leave insurance.
Now, you've heard the first reading of the bill is referred to the Committee on Economic Development, Housing, and General Affairs. We have for introduction S63 introduced by Senator Hardy and others. Please listen to the first reading of the bill by title.
S63, an act relating to health insurance and Medicaid coverage for fertility-related services.
Now, you've heard the first reading of the bill is referred to the Committee on Finance. We have up for introduction S64 introduced by Senators White and Hardy. Please listen to the first reading of the bill by title.
S64, an act relating to miscellaneous changes related to vehicles, infrastructure, and transportation planning.
Now, you've heard the first reading of the bill is referred to the Committee on Transportation. We have S65 introduced by Senators Vyhovsky and Lyons. Please listen to the first reading of the bill by title only.
S65, an act relating to commercial insurance coverage of epinephrine auto injectors.
Now, you've heard the first reading of the bill is referred to the Committee on Finance. We have for introduction S66 introduced by Senators Hardy and others. Please listen to the first reading of the bill by title only.
S66, an act relating to the provision of state-funded education in districts that do not maintain an elementary or high school.
Now, you've heard the first reading of the bill is referred to the Committee on Education. We also have a House bill for referral. The House bill is H45. Please listen to the reading of the title of the bill.
H45, an act relating to abusive litigation filed against survivors of domestic abuse, stalking, or sexual assault.
Now, you've heard the first reading of the bill and is referred to the Committee on Judiciary. We have no orders for the day, and therefore I'd look to the Senator from Chittenden Central.
Thank you, Mr. President. Pending announcements, I would move that Senate stand in adjournment until 1 p.m. Wednesday, February 8th.
The Senator has moved that the Senate stand adjournment until 1 p.m. February 8th. Pending announcements. Are there any announcements? Senator from Madison.
Senate Natural Resources and Energy will meet at 5 minutes of 10.
Senator from Bennington.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Education will meet at 1:30.
Senator from Chittenden Southeast.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Economic Development will meet shortly after the call of the gavel.
Senator from Washington.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Finance will meet at 1:30.
Senator from Chittenden Southeast.
Health and Welfare will meet at 10 o'clock.
Senator from Orleans.
Yes, Senate Ag will meet at 10 o'clock. Thank you.
Senator from Essex.
Senate Institutions will meet at 1:15. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator from Windsor.
Good morning, Mr. President. Senate Democratic Caucus will meet at 12:15 in the lounge. Please bring your lunch. And for those of you who are listening, it is the link to the YouTube is on the legislative website. Thank you.
Senator from Madison.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senate Government Operations will meet at 1:30.
There are a few announcements we made on behalf of the Committee on Committees. The first announcement of committee appointment would be the Vermont Community Broadband Board, Brian Otley. The Legislative Committee on Judicial Rules, Senators Sears, Clarkson, Brock, and Vyhovsky. Joint Legislative Justice Oversight Committee, Senators Sears, Lyons, Ram Hinsdale, Senator Renner and Senator Norris. Judicial Nominating Board, Senator Campion, Senator Watson, and Senator Norris. I would also like to make one other brief announcement. There will be a 11:30 meeting in the Senate chamber with the Vermont Leadership Institute. So if you have anything on your desk that we will certainly request that none of the documents on your desks be touched at all. But if there's anything that in particular you don't want on top, please make make it less noticeable. With that, are there any further announcements? The senator from Chittenden South Central has moved that the Senate stand adjourned until 1 p.m. Wednesday, February 8th. Are you ready for the question? If so, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed indicate by saying nay. The ayes have it, and the Senate will stand adjourned until Wednesday, February 8th at 1 p.m.